to conclude the expense discussion that we had in the last 4 videos, when you come in, also bring whatever amount you owe, delinquent amount, for federal and state taxes, and then whatever amount you owe for delinquent child support or alimony. You get to take a deduction for that in those expense categories, so bring all those amounts in. To summarize the expenses and all, when you call my office to set an appointment, I want to visit with you for just a minute or two, if you would, and we'll find out whether or not you are above median income. If you are, I will email you a list of all these expense categories so that you can put that information together and have it when you come in. That way, again, I want this meeting not just be hi and I'm Jim Moroney. I want you to get something out of the meeting when you come in. So I will send you that list by email and you can bring it in with you. As I'd mentioned too, I will also email you a copy of the Rights and Responsibilities Agreement that the Western District has us sign with you. Again, it's not a contract. It's just a if you hire me as an attorney or any other attorney, these are the services that I will provide, and it has a list of what your responsibilities are. So it's a good agreement. But bring all that in, and we can get a lot out. You can get a lot out of the meeting. Up here on the screen right now, what I've done is I've used Yahoo and I've typed in U.S. Trustee. I want to show you where you can find all of this information as to the amounts. Now, do you need to know all this? No, but I want you to know. I want you to know where these numbers come from rather than me just telling you. So I've typed in U.S. Trustee, and if you'll notice up there at the top, it's got U.S. Trustee Programs, Department of Justice. So I'm going to click on that. Hopefully we'll bring it up here. Here we go. Now, let me go up here and show you what I'm, the website that I'm on is www.usdoj.gov/UST. That's the United States Department of Justice. You would have thought that for bankruptcy and the bankruptcy courts and all, even on the Western District, they would have a real friendly menu where you, the consumer, could readily look up all this information. Well, that's not the case. You have to go into this Department of Justice program, and you can see that a lot of this information has no application to you whatsoever. Some of it does. You might want to look at it, but if you'll go to the middle column to where it says means testing, and if you'll click on that button, that brings up this means testing menu, and I'm going to scroll on down to data required for completing Form B22A and Form 22C. You remember 22A was for Chapter 7 and Form 22C was for Chapter 13. So these forms are going to get familiar to you because you're learning with me what all of this garbage means. So if you'll flip on the menu choices, what you'll see here is that they have a whole number. They update these numbers periodically. So you want the most current. So one that we're looking for right now is 315 or after. So I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to click Go. So we're up to the new menu, means testing for cases filed on or after March 15, 2009. I'm now going to go to median family income based on state or territory. You remember the median income and the numbers for 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever in your family? This is where that came from. Okay, so here's all your numbers, and every state has a median income. So let's go on down here to Missouri, and you'll see that, where is Missouri? Right here. Here we go. Put that in the middle of the screen for you. You can see it better. Here's Missouri. So one person is $39,563, 2 is $51,612, 3 is 58,473. 4 is 70,363. Those are the numbers that I earlier showed you on the screen. This is where I got those numbers. Now, if you'll go on here to the bottom of the listing of the states, it says add $6,900 for each individual in excess of 4. So it's that straightforward. So that's where your median income. You can always look at that table and find out where median income is. Now, I'm going to go back to that previous menu and go back one more time. So this is where we were when we started the means testing, okay? And I'm going to go on down here to the bottom where it says National and Local Standards IRS. So let's go down there. And I'm going to click on National and Local Standards. Okay. Here are all those expense categories. Remember I told you you had standard expenses that you can take? These are where all these are coming from. So here's your food, clothing, and other items. If I click on National Standards, that's what they give you. That's what your categories are. One person, two person, and all. So that's where that number comes from. That's what we'll use in your bankruptcy. Okay, let's go back. Out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. Let's click on that one. Every one of the expenses that I earlier went through in the other parts of the series and this segment, this is where all these numbers came from. $60 per person if you're under 65. If you're 65 or older, $144. If you get on the Western District, Missouri website where it has the forms available to you, you can print out Form B22A and B22C, and you can use all these expense categories to do it. Or when you come into the office, we can readily do it because I have computer software that automatically comes up with all these numbers. But it's important for you to understand where these numbers are coming from. So let's back up and look at some of these other expense categories. We've got housing, your local transportation costs that I talked about. That's, you can click on that button and come up with those expenses. Your housing and utility standards. Let's take a look at one of those because those are local standards, and I want to show you something about that table. Okay, we're going to go to Missouri. And if you'll notice, they have a housing for one family, 2, 3, 4, and they have every county in the state of Missouri with a different number for what they think would be housing expense. Now, again, if you want to look at these numbers in complete form B22A or B22C, you can certainly do so. Or when you come in, you and I will do it, and I can do it much more readily because of computer software I have. But I want you to understand where these numbers are coming from. You would have thought the government could have done this information and made it available to you in a much more easily accessible way, wouldn't you? But they didn't. So that may tell you something in itself, I guess. Let's back up and review again. I want to remind you where you can look. That's again usdoj.gov/to-the-right UST. That's where you can always find this information. So now you know. You don't have to be at the mercy of somebody spouting off information and acting like they really know something. All of this information is publicly available if you just find somebody like me that's willing to share it with you. Let's go on to the next video, and I want to run some numbers on a chapter 13 so that you can see how it really works. Thank you.